Okay, looks like I am live. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Just give me a second to make an announcement on Discord. We'll get started on this evening's work. So I always feel self-conscious about the way I write my messages on Discord, but here we go. Let's see if that works. That worked. Okay. B-Raptor K. Yo, how's it going? Delta, hey, how's it going? Rumble, how are you doing? So today we are working on the illustration for the Splash Art illustration for the game, basically. Let me know if you guys can hear me. And then, yeah, if I sound okay, I can adjust volume and stuff. So Islander gave the go ahead to just refine, we're going to refine this illustration, the one with the water fight scene. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and, get started right now. We're just going to dive in and, get the drawings more refined and pushing this toward a final. It's been a decade. Yeah, I didn't stream last week. I was having some car issues and we actually had to get a new car. So we have a new car now. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of chill and -1. Thanks so much for the donation. Really appreciate it. The void tell me to support. Hey Spartan, how's it going? What did we get? We got a Nissan Rogue. It's actually been really, really nice with the new car. I mean, I would have preferred that my old car didn't break down and kind of leave us stranded for a few days, but the new car's been pretty cool. It has some more modern features that my old car did not have at all, so that's nice. Kind of weird getting used to that stuff. Yes, thank you, -1. I really appreciate that. Tropio. I wonder if we can maybe sneak a Tropio in here flying around or something. That might be cool. In the background. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm probably going to bounce around in all honesty, but I really want to get this guy, this foreground guy, more well established because he's well, he's in the foreground. He's pretty visible and he's the main character, right? So he's the one who's like, he's the biggest character. He's up front and center. He's showing us, he's basically telling us where to look, you know, over here. So I want to make sure that he is starting to look good. We probably won't like finalize him or anything tonight, but get his form drawn in. I hope everyone's had a good week so far. Middle of the week today. Jackie Blues. So humans will be able to fight player dinosaurs as well as AI dinosaurs, right? That is my understanding. Yeah. So I'm trying to draw through all of this stuff so I can get he's kind of, the perspective is looking up at him. So he's a little bit foreshortened, not a ton, but a little bit. And then one thing that I was thinking of and looking at is it's kind of difficult to draw poses like this because he's basically on side view to the camera, and it's hard to make those poses look interesting. So I'm gonna do my best, but one thing that I think I will do just to get the boat to like sell the depth, because right now the boat is like pretty much side on, right? You're just getting like this triangular shape in there. There's no depth to it, and I want to increase the feeling of depth as much as possible. So what I was thinking is like, you know, of course he's on water, so it's rocking and moving all over the place. So if it was like tilted towards the camera just a little bit, so we can kind of see inside the boat just a tiny bit, I think that would help sell the shape of the boat better. So it's not just this like wedge shape in here. I still got to figure out what kind of boat this is. Canoe. I have a feeling I'm gonna like keep on changing it until like the last day of painting, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to be organized with this because I'm already starting to break my own rules here, but I want to keep the foreground character stuff like all on his own layers, and then the foreground character and the boat will probably be on his own layer, and then we'll try and work backward from there. I probably will do some work on the Spino tonight though, because dinosaur, you know. Katera, thank you for the 10. Thank you so much. I'm new. Will you guys ever add the Titanoboa? I think the Titanoboa is on the roster list, so I believe we'll be adding that soon. Or not soon. Don't quote me on that. We'll be adding that eventually. Rumble. I know you only worked on 3 creatures so far, but what's been your favorite? I have to say the Peru has been my favorite so far. Yeah, I think that's just because I had a lot of fun doing the scale work on him. I think he's been the most fun. I like doing big, like, chunky scales. I don't get a chance to do those too often. Majority of the time they're very small little things. But he was really fun. He's just a different type than I usually get to paint to sculpt. Oh yeah, Jackie, there's gonna be a ton of water effects in here. Splashes, waves. We're gonna be able to see a little bit underneath the water. So yeah, I'm definitely adding. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to put him in the water, is because I wanted to use all of the. I like painting water to begin with, but I wanted to use all of the different splashing effects to my advantage to make the scene feel much more dynamic. So that's what we'll be doing for that. For the scene. I like this curved. I'm looking at some like different. I suppose they'd be Native American canoes. Just to get an idea. I like the shape at the front. They're curved. But I don't know. I feel like I probably need to do a hybrid of a few different cultures. I don't want to like hit the nail on the head with just one specific culture. So, like I said, this canoe is going to change a lot, probably. Where is my watercolor brush? It is. Spinosaurus is the croc, yeah. Ouranosaurus is the herbivore that's releasing in the tech demo. I also don't really know what this guy's going to be wearing yet. So he's going to be naked for the time being. I mean, he's going to be that way anyway because I need to figure out his proportions and stuff, and I really don't want to waste time adding clothes if his proportions aren't right. So he'll be this way probably for a little bit. Jackie, I love water art for the same reason. Generally, you can always be sort of free and creative with it. Who all works on the art and concept art for the game? Is it mainly you? No, not it's not mainly me. It's myself. Yaroslav does skins. Bohuslav is working on the models for the tribals. Void does skins as well. There are several of us. I need to. So my like story that I'm building for this is like these people were on. Maybe they're on their way back from like a fishing trip, or we could still go with like the idea that they have eggs, like they've stolen eggs. We can put like some eggs here, maybe. Either like. Depends on how confrontational and like how, I guess, like how much of a conflict we want to create. Like, do we want to show the people as like they're like inciting the fight? Like, because if you steal the Spinosaurus eggs, of course it's gonna come after you, right? If I show that they're more just like fishing and kind of presents the Spino as more of the bad guy. I'm also going to probably start hinting at some lighting. I don't know exactly what the lighting scheme is going to be, but I have a feeling I probably want some light coming from this way so I can catch the character's face, like right here. So the majority of this side here is going to be in shadow. So we'll probably go with that for the time being. I feel kind of, I don't know, I might be jumping the gun a little bit right here, but I feel pretty confident in the way this is turning out. So I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. I don't want to like get too committed into it, but I'll add a little bit of a hint because it'll remind me later to like this is the light direction I was thinking. So don't forget. His other arm here. I probably want him to have some kind of like... I don't want him to be like super heavily armored, but I do want some sort of like maybe something to go around his arms. Maybe some like braided sort of decoration, like rope or beading or something. A couple of reasons why I want to do that. One is just because it adds like more cultural like detail, interesting detail to the character. The other reason is because it helps me sell the depth. These types of details on a character, especially if their arms are coming towards you or away from you, they add contour. And so basically what I'm telling the viewer's brain is that this is a cylinder and it's going that way in space. And I'm using the whatever this is, accessory to show those like circular lines, basically. Other thing that could be cool is like to have little dangly like pieces of rope or like fabric or something, because this will add some nice motion, like like secondary motion to the character. Have I seen Prehistoric Planet? Prehistoric Planet is that the one with that had the Carnotaurus in it with the tiny, they like made a big deal about his tiny arms. They made him dance around. Am I thinking of the right documentary? I haven't actually seen the second season of Prehistoric Planet. I do not. I think that was on Apple, wasn't it? I don't have Apple. Do not have an Apple subscription. If there was a third season, what would I like it to be? They've been focusing on Cretaceous fauna so far, I suppose, then, right? Because I think the second season was Cretaceous. I guess, yeah, I would want to see something in the Jurassic, I suppose. Because there's some really iconic animals there that I would like to see, like, brought to life. Morrison dinos, for sure. Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Dago. All of those classic. And there's quite a few classic, like those dinosaurs that everyone hears about, right? In the Cretaceous, because you have the Hell Creek Formation with T-Rex and all of those guys. But I think Morrison Formation is probably just as iconic or well known. So I think that would be great to see. Dilophosaurus and Pladio, yeah, that would be good too. There's a lot of other weird well, not dinos. They would be, I don't know. There's just weird stuff that's going on in the Triassic, so that would be cool too. So we'll give him probably some kind of loincloth, I'd imagine. Here. I'm kind of designing this stuff on the fly, guys. Let's see. So it would probably be like several different types of like woven strands here. Am I using the right? Why is it not? There we go. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe he has like some other like beading or something. We'll think about this more. We'll probably evolve it much more, but like beaded strands of rope or like string or something. Because I'm trying to get more motion in the scene around here. If he has hair, like if we give him like a braid or something, right? Then maybe some of that can be moving or like blowing in the wind. I mean, he's on the boat, so the boat's probably rocking around and stuff. Oh, really, Jackie? What did you see? What communities do you usually are you part of? I mean, yeah, I suppose I've done quite a lot. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes it feels like I haven't done very much. But that's very nice of you to say. Oh, did you guys, have you guys checked out the Zoic card game Kickstarter? I'm not really supposed to like, nobody asked me to plug it or anything, but I was just wondering if you guys are big card game collectors, because it looks pretty cool. I think it's already backed fully. But of course there's still like 29 days to go before the Kickstarter ends. There's a lot of art that I've done for that. Well, I didn't do it specifically for Zoic. It's just basically like all of the box art that I did for Beast of the Mesozoic, Cyberzoic. I've done a few unique card images for Zoic itself. But that's going on now. It's pretty cool because one of my illustrations, one of my favorite illustrations that I've ever painted actually, is one of the face cards on the starter deck. One of the starter decks. That was a fun surprise to see. I'm like painting this guy upside down and expecting his proportions to look right when I turn him right side up. I'm completely ignoring his face as well. I don't know. His face is probably going to get changed a lot. But we'll start to show some features. Path of Titans, okay, cool. Path of Titans, Beast of the Mesozoic. Nice. Hey, Rumble, you're really kind. Oh, Kyoryu. Okay, cool. I didn't do all of the art. There's so many different artists for Zoic. But I've done a lot of artwork for Beast of the Mesozoic over the years. But the illustration that I'm talking about is this one. This is one of my favorite illustrations. It's one of the face cards. I guess you would call them face cards. It's the featured card on one of the decks. It's like the hero card. And then the other one is let me just go there. I'll show you guys. The other one is the T-Rex that RJ did. It's right here. See, there's my guy, and there's RJ's guy, and then there's a ton of different cards. But yeah, all of this stuff is parts of it, are stuff that I've done for, like this is one that I did for Cyberzoic for the Utah Raptor. That's one that I did for the Ceratopsian series. That's a unique one that I did for Zoic specifically. That one is too. So there's just it's pretty cool because it's like art that spans like the history of the project since I've been working on it. So it has lots of older illustrations that I did, like when I first started working with David Silva and Creative Beast Studio, and then there's new stuff that nobody's ever seen because it's specifically for Zoic. So pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I've never actually had a trading card game have my artwork on it. So to be able to open a pack of trading cards and actually have something in there is pretty cool. I kind of always wanted to do maybe some illustrations for Magic the Gathering or something. It's just I've never really tried, to send my portfolio out to them and see if they'll work with me. Part of it's because I've been super busy with all the dinosaur stuff over the years, This guy's I already can tell he's gonna be hard to draw because of the angle of his face. I'm gonna smudge this a little bit, his hairline, so it doesn't look so super defined. I'm kind of feeling some kind of, I don't know, maybe some kind of buns, like ponytail thingy. I don't know. It's kind of Japanese inspired, but I think you could maybe put a tribal spin on it. With like different like hair ties, like these could be made out of like seashells, bone, different types of wood, different plant fibers maybe. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fun for anyone who's interested in collecting. I mean, it's basically like a dinosaur trading card game, which you don't really get. There's not many of those, I don't think. So I think it's going to be cool. -1, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna find lots of different opportunities to like get some like movement, whether it's in his hair, whether it's like some beads that he's wearing, cloth, splashes of water. As much as I can do, I'll try and do it. So I want this painting to feel very dynamic and very like stuff going on everywhere, lots of stuff to look at. I like when I can add enough detail to a painting to where like you kind of see something new every time, or you can take multiple passes at it and see something new. Maybe not every time, that would be kind of crazy, but a few times, a few glances. I think he's coming along fairly well. I say that and then I'll wake up tomorrow and look at it and I'll like hate it. So maybe I should keep my mouth shut. I suppose so, -1. It's not really about difficulty. It's just about getting the right amount of dynamism in the image. I don't really think about it that way, like whether it's going to be too hard or not. I just kind of do it, and if it takes a lot of time or is difficult, then that's just kind of the way it is, because I mean, technically, like all of this is difficult. I mean, look at what's going on here. You got splashes, you got a shipwreck, you got like 3 guys swimming in the water. You got reflections in the water, you got the distant trees, you got all kinds of stuff going on. So, I mean, if I started thinking about how difficult the illustrations I do are, I'd probably not do them, There you can get very overwhelmed with stuff like that if you like dwell on it too long. This thing here, I was thinking was going to be some kind of net. But I'm going to have to paint it on a different layer or something, I think. Rumble, is this the most you've ever been involved in a dinosaur game? How much did you do on Path of Titans? But here it feels like you're doing a lot of stuff. I'd say yes. On Path of Titans, I was just an illustrator. I just did some, they would contact me every now and then and ask me to do a splash image. I haven't done one for them in a long, long time though. And then for Kyoryu, I was pretty involved with like not the game development that's going on now, but like the initial pitch that they did. I was basically I think I was the only modeler, or the only dinosaur sculptor. There were other modelers, but they were basically like focused on the environment. So I jumped in as a concept artist and I designed. They had some designs that Chase Stone did. Chase Stone is a really amazing artist. If you don't know who he is, you should check his stuff out. I was actually pretty intimidated to work alongside. Well, I wasn't working alongside him, but with his stuff, present. But I took the base work that he did and I kind of I reworked it a little bit because I felt like there could be more. The design could be more integrated. I think the dinosaurs, especially the T-Rexes in Kyoryu, they look cool because they look like samurai T-Rexes. They don't look like T-Rexes wearing samurai armor. If that makes sense. I really tried to integrate the armor into their skin and make it feel like it was a part of them as a design. So I came in and I did some of that, and then I actually sculpted the 2 T-Rexes and the boss Dimetrodon. And then later on for their other trailer, I did some raptors, a sauropod, and some pterosaur stuff. But yeah, to answer your question, Echoes of Extinction is probably the project that I've been most involved with. Rumble, yes. Kyoryu isn't out yet. They're still working on it. Yeah, and I've been involved with other non-game related projects. So, keep myself busy. I think I'm gonna have to draw his other arm like on top of this. I don't want to mess up this structure here. So I'm gonna draw it on top. I'm not sure. -1. I don't know exactly if they made a decision on that or not. I would check with their social media stuff. It's been a while since I've worked on the game, so I don't know what their plans are exactly. So I wouldn't be confident in saying. Gotta figure out what material this boat is made out of too. It could be wood. It could be like animal skin. It could be a combination of both of those things. Well, like animal skin wrapped over like a wood framework, I believe, is how some of these canoes are made. But I am not an expert on that. I'm scared to do this, but I gotta check. Let me flip the canvas to see how I'm doing. Okay, not too bad. Sometimes when I flip the canvas, especially when I'm drawing people, they just look totally wonky, so. You got to make sure, especially if you're drawing people, for sure. Especially if you need to like get a good likeness of somebody, you gotta continually flip the canvas a lot. It's a good practice to do anyway, but thank you, Rumble. I mean, when you put it like that, it does sound really cool. Sometimes I gotta stop and like appreciate what I've actually been able to be involved with, you know? I'm the type of person that's like, I don't know. I don't stop to like think about that very often. I'm the type of person who worries about not doing enough rather than what I have done, you know? So it's good to like stop every now and then and be like, hey, I actually have worked on a lot of cool stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that the light is working properly. I mean, a lot of this is going to be in shadow. Like, this brush is really nice. I like this transparent watercolor brush. It lets me do really big washes of values or color on top of everything. It's really nice for laying in lighting or shadows, at least, you know. Now I'm kind of dilly-dallying a little bit. I'm not focusing on this arm. I should be. I kind of call these like my tracing paper layers. Like I'll just throw an opaque layer on top of everything to like lighten stuff. And this is purely just for me to be able to see stuff better. It's nothing more than that, really. And then I'll start to sketch in the new stuff that I want to do on top of what I have. This stuff is this is going to be a little bit hard because there is foreshortening here. Like this hand should be bigger than this hand because it's closer to us. But it's not like super drastic, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping it like kind of subtle. It's not like if you guys have ever looked at League of Legends splash screens, the perspective that some of those illustrations have is pretty crazy. It's very impressive the way those artists can like create the depth that they do in those illustrations. Judging by, I think I made his upper arm too big. But we'll see. I think I'll just leave this like this. Keep that on its own layer. Let me see. I need to make sure I can select this easy. So what I want to do is use this as a selection. It's kind of messy, but it's not too bad. And then I'll mask this off. And then I'll invert it so that way I can get this to look like it's on top of that sketch, but it actually isn't. Well, it is, but visually it's transparent. So I need something to stay behind it so I can see what I'm doing. Thanks, Rumble. I mean, I hope this game becomes, you know, what everyone hopes it to be. I feel like it has a very good chance of doing that. I think we have a really solid team. We have a solid community. It's all been really positive so far. I'm gonna do some like I can kind of paint in some of this water, and then we can start playing with some of the splashing effects that we were talking about. I gotta stay organized though, so this is, I'm gonna group that. This is gonna be my foreground character. And then I gotta give it a color. I wonder why it doesn't. I feel like it should colorize every layer in the folder, not just the group. But that's fine. There you go. This is going to be the water. But we have like two kind of different parts of the water. We have the part of the water that's like overlapping the camera lens that we can kind of see underneath. And then we have the surface of the water that's going away from us. So I want to make sure that I'm careful. This line will probably change a lot during the course of all this stuff, but I'm talking about this line here. I've done a couple of illustrations that have this sort of water line in it. It's always really fun. I think my favorite one that I did was it was an illustration for Beasts of the Mesozoic. It was a illustration of Xenoceratops like wading into the water on like a sandy kind of beach. That one was really fun. I liked it because you can see underneath the water pretty well. You can see the dino's like feet moving through the sand. I don't know if you're going to be able to see too much on it here. I mean, the section of water that we can see underneath is like very close right here. So I don't know how much we're actually going to be able to see under there. And then we will have, need to do something more opaque. Some white. I kind of want to show, I want to show the boat like cutting through the water, right? We're going this way. Kind of towards the Spino, but like diagonally, kind of tangent to it. And I do want to get like a sense of speed, so I want to maybe add like some ripples and stuff here. We'll kind of build this up. It's going to be a lot of back and forth with water like this, trying to get just like the perfect shape to the waves to make them feel correct. It's like one of those things that I don't know, I can't really describe it. It's kind of, I kind of have to just do it and mess with it till it feels right. But it's like, it's a combination of the dark and light shapes of the water and how they just how they come together to make the waves look like they're rising on top of the surface. And we'll probably have to add some reflections in here. It depends on the angle that we're actually at, if we see the reflection of the boat in it or not. I might actually need to do a quick like little mock-up, and I won't do it now because I think it'll take too long. But like a mock-up in Blender or something to put like an object like the boat, like model a quick boat and then put like a Ripley surface and then make it reflective so I can see how the ripples will work. But I can do that later. I don't want to get too crazy with the I want to block in the water effects, but I don't want to get them super refined right now. I'm just looking at it at some quick reference really here on the Google. Come back to all of this stuff. It's not getting super watery. I don't know if I have allergies or something. It could be because the season is starting to change around here. It's starting to transition from summer to fall. But sometimes I just get hit with like this, like my eyes just start stinging. And they get really watery. These little like, I just want to indicate it right now, but I'll get more specific with it. But like little splashes popping up here, where maybe the boat has just like come over a crest and kind of settled back down, like kind of splashed back in to the front of it, and it's caused these little splashes here, kind of like a spray. We can add some like motion blur and stuff to that and like make it look like it's moving too. Oh, blue light glasses. That might be true. I did not think of that. I didn't get so fancy with my glasses this time because I got new glasses not super long ago, but I usually get like a bunch of these like coatings on it. There's actually a lot of stuff you can do to your glasses, but it gets really expensive. So for these ones, I just went kind of simple. And I'm kind of regretting it now. There was this one pair of glasses that I had that I put this like anti-smudge sort of coating on there. And I kind of wish I'd done that to these ones, because these do get smudged up real quick. Those other glasses that I had, There's some other stuff that I had on my other glasses too, like I had the blue light stuff. They would like these ones only like darken and lighten when I go outside basically, and that's about it. And I think maybe like an anti-scratch coating or something. There may be somebody paddling in the back of the boat. I'm thinking that maybe I can have another person. I don't know how much additional stuff I want to do to like make my life harder. But there could be a couple options. Either he was paddling and he like stopped paddling and like stood up to take a shot, you know, grabbed his bow, stood up to take a shot. Or there's another person back here, right? Like seated here. And they have like an oar or something that they're paddling to go, you know, that way. And I could maybe do that. Like I could maybe put another person, like if I strategically like set that up. It would be kind of awkward. I don't want to crop the person off like in a weird way. You know? Something like this. They're seated in the boat and they're pushing or paddling. I was thinking actually like this would be more like maybe their river is like more or less shallow throughout, and they had those big like sticks that they would like push themselves with rather than like an actual paddle. I don't know. But that's a good idea. We could try to incorporate something like that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That does make sense, though. I'll leave that little sketch there for now. He's like, I don't know what it looks like. He's in the boat with like a phantom skeleton person or something now. Thanks, Delta. I will look into that. That sounds cool. Thank you, Meat Sauce. Yeah, I was looking at a bunch of boat reference, right? And I saw quite a few, because I was looking at fishermen, like different fishermen, and how different people just like fish on their boats throughout the world. And one of them was like the big like kind of gondolier style where they like push with the stick. And then they're like standing and their boats are like ridiculously narrow though. It's amazing that they can balance on them and cast their nets and all this stuff. I also saw people use actual bows to fish. Like they'll stand in their boats and shoot the fish. Which is kind of cool. There's all kinds of other ways to fish too that are pretty interesting. I don't know if you would do it here though. Like there's people that use cormorants to fish with. They have like trained cormorants, and they actually tie like a rope or like a string around their throat so that way the cormorants can't swallow the fish. And the cormorants will go pick up the fish and then bring it back to the boat. And that they'll the fishermen will actually have to like make them give up the fish, but they get rewarded every now and then with an actual fish, which is why they keep doing it. Rumble. I suppose like a lot of these aren't really being used anymore. So, well, like for example, let me save this really quick. Like all this stuff down here, anything that's not being used, I can just throw away. All this stuff here, it's not being used, you throw it away. So it's not really that much. The reason why I keep adding new layers is because it's kind of the way that Clip Studio Paint works. Because I like to use these smudgy brushes, right? I'll use a color. I like these because they smudge really nicely and they feel like oil paint, because that's what I'm used to. That's how I was trained. I was trained as an oil painter. So I like when colors like merge and smear and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why I really like Clip Studio Paint. But the problem is in Clip Studio Paint, like, see how this is already like mixed? Like it's already kind of mixing. But let's say I wanted like a really pure brush stroke with like the pure color, not like the mixed color. Like I want this color exactly. If I try to do that, it's going to mix automatically with all this other stuff. And I'll have to either push really hard or I'll have to like scribble on it to get the pure color to come back out, which is not really what I want to do, because I want to be painterly with it. So if I want like a pure color, I make a new layer and then I do my stroke, because there's nothing on this layer for it to mix with. It's just transparent pixels. So then I can do my neat like strokes that I need, and then I can merge them down. That's what I've been doing. Like you'll notice like sometimes I'll here's my foreground character. Like I'll be painting grayscale, right? If I have my brush set the right way, like I'll be painting grayscale. But let's say I wanted to add like a nice highlight color. If I come in with white and try to, like I can get it, like I can get a highlight there, but it's like gray, right? It's not pure white. If I want pure white, I come back and I make a new layer and get a nice clean mark. So that's why I do that stuff. If this were Photoshop, I wouldn't be doing that quite as much, because Photoshop doesn't really blend naturally, or like as naturally as Clip Studio does, unless you make it. Like if you use them, you can use like the mixer brush, I suppose, and get some blendy stuff, but I don't really like using that one. But yeah, it can get a little out of hand. I'm not gonna lie. Usually though, there'll be like a tipping point, right? Like I'll deal with it, and then there'll be like that urge to like clean everything up, and then I'll just merge stuff down and then simplify it, and then it'll build back up again. And then I'll clean it again, and that's kind of the ebb and flow all the way through the painting. But yeah, I'm a big fan of like really painterly styles. Like I like being able to see the brush strokes in paintings. I really like impressionistic paintings. Who's a really nice artist that I like to look at a lot? I don't know. I have to think about that. But I do like if I'm looking at ArtStation or something like that, and a lot of my favorited artworks from other people are more like painterly style stuff. Unreal Canadian? No, I wouldn't be able to answer that for you. Sorry. Yeah, the bird fishing is really cool, Meat Sauce. I would actually see if you can find like a video about it on YouTube or something. Okay, let's work on the Spino for a little bit. That would be fun. Hi, Grub Dog. How's it going? Okay. So, for the Spino, I'm wondering, would I change anything? I'm wondering. I think the head position actually looks pretty good. Like as far as the perspective goes. I'm just trying to check my lines here. Is the vanishing point is going to be somewhere over here. If I look at all of my lines, they're not too bad. for being like completely free-handed. I'm usually not that great at that. Here's what I'll do. I'll just make a quick grid for myself just so I can actually, I don't need to do that. I can actually just make a grid because this has some perspective ruler to it. So I can do this. Let's see if my eyeballing actually works out. This is the horizon line, which looks okay. Okay. So I will do my grid here real quick. I just need it for the face. Just to give some quick guides. And then we'll start refining this. I think his eye's too big. So that's the first area. We'll try to make him look really mean and intimidating. The position of the pupil is going to matter a lot, I think. We'll probably change that a lot between now and final. I'll keep it like that for now. Delta, the amount of brushes and tools on Clip Studio Paint scares me. I've been using it for about a year, but stick to my 3 brushes. Yeah, I mean, most of the time I do the same thing. I really like the pencils. Like the light and dark pencils are really what I use a lot. Sometimes I use the rough pencil. And then a lot of what I use are the watercolors, the dense watercolor and the transparent a lot. And this realistic stuff. Is it the realistic? It's the thick one. Thick paint. This flat oil paintbrush and what the heck is it? I thought there was this one, this oil paintbrush. So I don't know. That's maybe like 5 or 6 paintbrushes. It's not a ton. I don't really think you need a ton to have a, like to be able to do your work. It's probably better, honestly, better that you keep your tool set limited, but versatile is what I like to have. Like a small set of tools, but they can do lots of different things depending on how you use them. That's generally what I tend to like. It's the same thing for like sculpting tools. In ZBrush or like even in real life, like I sculpt. Oh, it's been like a few years, but when I did sculpt a lot in Sculpey and polymer clay, I would only use a few different tools, but they would do a lot of work, So So I think the crest is not in the right spot. It needs to be slightly forward. Cool. I think I made his upper jaw a little bit too hooked nosed. And this slopes down like this, I think. Yeah, meat sauce is the that's a good analogy. Falconry but underwater. Ah, okay. Maybe do a whole semester in charcoal. Okay, cool. Mapping pen's really nice. Especially for like the fine lines and stuff. Trying to think. I don't know if I mean, we did do stuff like that in art school. Majority of my life drawing classes were charcoal. I did like, I think there were like 3 different stages of life drawing. Either charcoal or Conte. Some people like to use pastels, but I hate pastels. They're like one of my most hated mediums. I'm pretty open and flexible when it comes to mediums, but for some reason pastels just do not click with me. Charcoal's cool. I like Conte a lot. What else did we use? Graphite. I don't like using, because if you're doing big drawings with graphite, you kind of have to use the like graphite powder to like cover big areas. So I don't really do that with graphite. If it's a small drawing, then it's fine. Yeah, it's been so long since I've done any traditional work, though. I would definitely be rusty, I think. Wonder, I'm gonna find a Spino skull again really quick. I wonder if there's a 3D model online that I can spin around. I might have to make one just to get the head shape right. Here's one in Sketchfab. The thing about Sketchfab is it doesn't let you rotate like every single way you need, though. because it's stuck on like a certain axes, which is kind of annoying. I wonder if I can... No, I can't download this model. That's okay. We'll deal for now. I'll make my own skull later, and we'll make sure the head is actually shaped correctly. But for now, I'm just gonna get as close as I can by eyeballing it. It's a good thing Clip Studio has that. This liquefy thing is awesome, I think. This thing. To be able to like manipulate the drawing without having to go into like a separate filter screen or whatever. I really don't like the way Photoshop does that. I don't like his eye either. I'm going to take that off for now because it's distracting me. We'll leave him pupilless. We'll give him soulless eyes for now. Oh, you weren't allowed to touch the pencil to add detail? Yeah. I would say it was like... That's pretty strict. That is pretty strict. I don't think I had anything that strict. At the same time, I didn't really... Are you talking about like make like charcoal pencils? You had to use the Vine charcoal like all the time? My studio sessions were... depended. There were 3 hours sometimes, and then sometimes there were 8. I had studio classes that were 8 hours long. But they were only once a week. So it was like they took 2 classes and just mashed them together. I kind of like those classes. I mean, yeah, it depended. But I did like the longer classes. So, okay. So my lighting, where's my light coming from? My light is coming from here, this way. Primary light source here. So the back edges of this guy are going to get light. A lot of this is going to be in shadow here. Not like pitch black shadow, but like kind of generally shaded. I'll keep this over here pretty dark though. Yeah, Delta, the majority of the time when we did 8-hour classes like that, there was a live model. Indoraptor, I don't think Suko or Sarko are on the roster. We kind of already have our big boy croc. Other reason I like Clip Studio is because of this thing. If I want something like a very specific shape or something with really hard edges, I can just I can carve into the painting with this tool. I mean, I can get all that stuff out of there. This is the lasso fill tool right here. It's really nice for making big shapes, very clean big shapes. You can reduce the opacity of it too and get some nice. You can actually render a lot with it. I like to do that sometimes, depending on the art style. If it's more cell shaded, then that's a really nice tool to use. I don't do that a lot, but sometimes I get some work like that. I think this hip is too high. And we'll probably get a tongue in here. What's kind of fun, so if you do this, right, like, because you can add border effects to the shape, to any brush stroke or anything you have in here, really. If you make it thin and you add, like, because I want to add a tongue right now, you could do something like this. it'll add the line around it. So you can kind of do some cool stuff with that if you're doing a drawing. You can get so the fill, I don't want the fill to be white, maybe some gray. And then you can come on top of it and just like blend it all in, or you can rasterize the whole thing. And then integrate the line art better if you want to. You can do, that's a really good way to do like stitching or like braided elements. I'll probably do that with some of his stuff, to be honest. I prefer bipedal spino. Quadrupedal doesn't convince me. The claws would wear down. I think there's more issues with the quadrupedal spino than the claws. It's like the actual physiology of the way their wrist is built and the weight bearing capabilities of the wrist. There's a lot of problems with that, I think. Last time I checked. But I do prefer bipedal spino as well. Yeah, all you have to do is rasterize it, and then that line art becomes kind of fused to that area. So it's pretty cool. Honestly, like Spinosaurus, depending on the way it's reconstructed, especially if it has shorter legs, Spinosaurus kind of reminds me of like a weenie dog. The way it's built. It's just very, very long, short. But I'm pretty satisfied with the way that we're doing it for Echoes of Extinction here. It's got longer legs. I feel like they're more proportional. Delta, no, I didn't see any of that. Do they have names? Oh, you have a big Spinosaurus in Spain. What's the name of that Spinosaurid species? I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, there are actually a lot of Spinosaurids. I think a lot of them are fragmentary, and they also have they can have very strange names. I don't know a lot of them off the top of my head, to be honest. Spino, Baryonyx, Irritator, Suchomimus, and then that's like the end of my list. Or Oxalia. That's a unique one. Okay, I gotta get some of these teeth in here. Joaquin Raptor Cassidy. I hope that I'm saying that right. I have to look that up, Delta. That sounds pretty interesting. Is it like fairly complete, or is it pretty fragmentary? Ichthyovenator's, yeah. Ostafricosaurus, yeah, that's a good one. Rio Javanatrix. That's a good name too. I honestly didn't know that Spain or Brazil were like super rich with Spinosaurids. That's really cool to know. I thought there were a lot of them were just from actually, I don't know. I haven't given it that much thought, I suppose. Baryonyx is from Europe. I guess I just assumed all of the other ones were like close to Egypt or in the Middle East somewhere. Spinosaurus are like one of those theropod groups that I have not done a lot of work with. So they're kind of neglected. I need to do more stuff with Spinosaurus though. I did have a model of Baryonyx that I started like a long time ago. It would be fun to revisit. So on this, I would probably have... I'm going to actually do this again because I want to make a shape here. Let me see. Oh, that's interesting. It had its last meal with it. Yeah, I gotta look that up. I gotta check that out. That sounds really cool. I'm gonna put like little maybe this is more like saliva, I guess, like spit coming out of his mouth. Or it could be water that's like remaining like thrashing kind of thing. I just want to add just a little bit of a... Because his head was probably partially submerged, and then he like whipped it into the air, you know? So maybe just a little bit of water like pulling away from him. Indication of some water doing that. And of course I'd have to render it up and make it look like actual water instead of graphic novel water or whatever. But it'll at least let me know where the splashes could go. And then this right here is going to be a big splash of water. Kind of framing his neck, like at the base of his neck here. Let me see. I might just paint it instead. It still does the outline around the painted part too, which is kind of cool. But why is it... I'm painting transparent. It's because the brush is too soft. That's why. Because I want this arcing effect, right? Like I want this motion. So if I can get this to like this area to like feel like it's moving that way, that would be good. I'd probably arc this more because it's too straight. These strokes here. Can I do that? There we go. Like make it bend more. That would probably work better. And like stretch these out more like this. We'll do a lot more than that, but we'll get the point across for now. And then I think I can use this splash here to kind of frame the boat as it's sinking. We'll probably have to have this be darker. Oh, a croc leg was in his mouth. That's very cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out after stream. Speaking of, I think it's about time for me to head out. We got a good chunk taken care of. I mean, this is... It all needs, of course, a lot of polish, but this area is like mapped out pretty well, I think. We got to work on this center area. The Spino, I'm like the most confident about. Aside from like some stuff I got to check on the head. But once I get that model built out, I should be able to correct any issues that are on there. Yeah. Thanks guys for hanging out with me tonight. Saturday stream looks like it's gonna go fine. Like, there's no changes to that schedule. So if you guys want to join me on Saturday to work on the Puru, I will be live at 9 a.m. And other than that, I have no other announcements. So thanks everybody. I'll check those new discoveries out later this evening. That sounds really cool. I'll see you guys this Saturday or next Wednesday. Have a good night. Bye bye everyone.